I'm thinking about everything and seeing where stuff could go. I think it would have to matter of where it could fit. I mean, that's like, as you do this, that's a whole nother side that like, I don't, you know, that's the side that like, I don't know if it would go there, but it's different. You're talking to the development people then and all this kind of stuff. So, but I think we would find the right place for it, and I have the vision for it. I know what I want to do, and I want everybody to be happy with it, and I don't want to do anything that no one wants to happen. But I think there's many places we could do it. That's the great thing about where we're at Nashville too. It's like Nashville's expanded so much. Like Franklin, I live in Brentwood now, but growing up in Old Hickory, like we didn't go to Franklin. Like Franklin was like, felt like it was another state. Yeah. But now it's like everywhere is kind of intertwined, and it's pretty easy. And we got 440 figured out, so that's good.
Have we?
No, yeah, I don't know.
Close.
It's close. 840. I still like 840.
Okay.
I was always excited about 840.
Nate Bargatze takes 840, everyone.
Yeah, we're going to make 840 you're going to be on it. Because we need more people on 840.
That's exactly.
That's what we need. I remember when they started building 840, and it was very exciting. And I think they got to keep going.
Okay.
I think they stopped.
Is this your campaign?
This is what I'm going to run on. Let's make 840 the complete circle.
And I mean, Nateland, you just talked about you have a vision for it. Could you bring us in a little bit to that vision? What does that look like in your mind? I mean, rides. I mean,
games. It's like Universal, Disney. It's like I think it's like that. Think that.
So less of a Dollywood.
Yes. Dollywood's unbelievable, but it's more of a. I mean, I think of it like Disney. I think of it. It's got to be bigger than. Even though it's like I want to do it in Tennessee, but I want it to be bigger than that and reach out to people. And I don't think entertainment is really being made or thought of for families or even couples to go out. And a lot of entertainment is very divided, and it's you're between me and my wife. My wife watches Housewives or something, and I watch some other show. Like you're almost not even watching like. There's no sitcoms that you're watching anymore together, and there's just not stuff that you're really. TV would bring families together. I think people still want to go to the movie theaters. We just tried to. This past weekend, you want to go, we were looking for something to go do, and you want to go see a movie at the movie theater, and there's just like nothing that's even really there, and it's either going to be an animated film or it's an R-rated film, and there's nothing that's just in the middle. And I think that speaks for everybody, not just here. I think it speaks for everybody, but I think if it came from a place of Tennessee, I think that's a good thing. So if we did that, I'd see, hopefully shooting that stuff and hopefully have rides, roller coasters, have different parks. I've thought about some of it, not all the thought. I don't have all the rides figured out.
Well, when you get it together, get back to us. We can help. Yes, we'll break that.
We'll go through. We'll just check it off.
I'll be your test dummy.
We're going to bring, we're going to have the Screaming Delta Demon. We're going to bring it back.
Is that a ride that used to be operated?
Yeah, that was a ride. It was a great ride. We had Hangman, too, which was a roller coaster. Your feet hung, and it was like, we got it. It was brand new, and then they shut Opryland down.
So maybe you can resurrect that one.
So we need Hangman back. Yeah, it'll probably be a lot of just Opryland. That's all I'm going to be able to think of is like the Grizzly River Rampage. Like, it's all Opryland stuff.
These are great buzzwords.
Yeah.
You want to call it Nateland, but what Nateland is essentially right now, outside of the amusement park, is this platform that you have. Can you explain to people what Nateland is as it exists now online, and is this platform for content and comics on it that you kind of bolster? Yeah,
it's our tagline is kind of good, clean, funny, and again, we want to live in that PG-13 range. And when I came up doing stand-up, you would do TV. You would have to do stand-up on TV, so you would have to be clean. Comics can be dirty. I'm not telling anybody to do one way or the other, but I want the audience to be able to trust that when they see Nateland, they're going to know that they can get it. They know that they can watch it. We're not making stuff for kids, but I don't necessarily want your kids to have to leave the room if they walk in and you're embarrassed, because it's like we all have that. You have that with commercials now. I mean, it's insane. So you want it to be like a place where I just want an audience to be able to trust it and trust that they can go there. So that's what we're doing in Nateland. We do a Nateland Live here every Monday with comics. And it's not stuff that's including me. I'll need to, eventually I want this to be outside of me. But they, every Monday here at the lab, we have comics come through, and it's a clean comedy show, and it's just newer comics coming up, and and then we shoot stuff on our YouTube channel, and we're starting to put specials out, and it's all just like like TV clean, like TV in the '90s. I'm basically just doing that. I want to do that. They could air, they air Die Hard on TBS. Like I just want to shoot the TBS version.
There you go.
So we're just going to start with the TBS version.
Start there.
Yeah.
It's really neat because I feel like these comics that are on your Monday night shows, for example, wouldn't have been able to. I mean, Zanies has been here for 40 years, but now you're seeing, like you said, the opportunity to come up every night if you want, to go on a show every night. With comics now traveling here to be on Nateland Presents the Good, Clean, Funny.
Yeah.
What does that mean to you to kind of see this vision of making Nashville a comedy destination?
It's awesome, and I want comics to be able to move here and be able to get up and get better. And a big process that I think that's stifled a lot of like show business stuff is there's not that many, no one's developing people anymore, and in a way, and that kind of went away with because social media is so when people come up, and especially comics, they got to get followers on social media, so it's like they're just racing to do that, but they're not getting developed into being actually a great comic that can sustain. And we have a lot of comics like that here, but it's like the newer ones that are younger, it's like when they come up, you want them to, I don't know, have some direction. They need direction. So we had Comedy Central when I came up. So it was a matter, you would do Live at Gotham, and then I did a half hour, then an hour special on Comedy Central. So you had a place that you knew where to go. And now I don't think comics have that. So I want to build that for them to go and so you can see the next comics. And I love stand-up comedy. I love it so much, and it's in such a great spot. It's people look at it more. It's still a newish art form, out of the art forms. It's stand-up is people still don't completely know about it and all this, and so I want to have a place for comics to, be able to develop and safely move forward, and and then especially when we start making movies, we start doing stuff, and you can have I don't know, develop new talent, find new actors, find new everything. It's all about the next generation. You gotta let go of the past almost.
So you have such great success now. So you're kind of almost wanting to step into this role where you can mentor or help the next guy or girl behind you.
Yeah. I've done everything you could do, every bad show you've ever done. I've done a show with less people than in here. I've done a show for one guy once when I first started. So
where was that?
It's New York. I asked him to leave, and he said no. And so then I had to just do my set for him. It was. But yes, I want to be just a place for I went to New York with you got this daydream kind of thing. I wanted to always be able to play Bridgestone, and so you just kind of got this little dream, and so I wanted to do it, and I think there needs to be you just need to develop younger people, and a lot of people stay around a long time, and people don't move on as much, and people, it's like they just don't help and develop underneath them, and then that's going to end it. That's going to stop it all if you do that. So let's try to have a place for people to come up and develop, and then it's not like I have to go. I won't do anything. I'll just let them come up and be better than me.
Kind of let the machine run itself.
Let it all run itself.
You mentioned Bridgestone. You have the all-time attendance record at Bridgestone. Yeah. This winter rather, you're closing your tour there, doing Bridgestone twice.
Yeah.
Now, how does that feel for you?
It's insane. I mean, Bridgestone, again, I remember when it was built, it was a big deal. So, it's like the Batman building. We took it one by one. I mean, Bridgestone always, I'm going to do Madison Square Garden this year, which is insane. But so I've always wanted to do MSG, especially since I was in New York. But Bridgestone was always the one. Bridgestone was always I always dreamed of coming home and doing an arena more than I did playing an arena. I wanted to do it here. And so, yes, anytime anybody's coming to watch me here and at that arena is, it's like nothing. I don't even know how to, you know. It doesn't feel like you're happening to you. I'm just like a dude from Old Hickory. I'm nobody. So.
Well, and some of these country artists like Luke Combs, Morgan Wallen, Garth Brooks, they've been selling out stadiums for years. They're representing this Nashville art.
Yeah.
I've heard that you want to be the first comedian to play the new Nissan Stadium.
It would be nice. That might be, if we get to that point, that might have to be where I'm done with stand-up. You go, this is the final stand-up show, and I'll leave everybody alone after that. Or I'll make movies or something after that. We're running Nateland. But yeah, it would be, I don't know, it'd be interesting to see if it can be done. I mean, stand-up, I know Kevin Hart has shot something in Philadelphia Stadium. It is such a big place, so stand-up is kind of different. But what we do so great with the arenas, why I think arenas is actually good for stand-up comedy, is I'm in the middle. So I'm in the round and there's these screens. So even if you're at the Ryman, which is my favorite place ever to perform, if you're sitting in the back, you can't really see my face or all this stuff. When you go to these arenas, we really are working on having the best setup for you. Even though you are watching cameras, it's about being around this many people having fun. And that's what you love. That's why live events are so big. You want to be around other people watching your favorite musician or going to a Vandy game or whatever it is. You want to be around. That's what makes it, you know, it's people like being around people. It's great.
Speaking of live events,
yeah.
You're the first Nashville comedian to host Saturday Night Live.
Oh,
You've done it not once, but twice.
Yeah.
I watched your opening monologue back, and there was a moment in there where you said, "I'm from Nashville," and there was a cheering section in there for you. And you looked at them and you go, "Oh, look at us." You know, what did it mean for you to hear them, and what did that mean for you to say, you know, "Look at us. I'm in Nashville on that big stage"?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, when you have people, you know, you're all kind of experiencing it together, and you know, I think especially in New York, it's like it can be intimidating or all this stuff. So when you just have someone in the crowd that's like kind of you got like shorthand with them, and so it's nice to have that. And even though I might not know who it is or whatever it is, it's just a nice like, all right, look at us. Yeah. And then the last time I hosted, Vanderbilt beat Alabama, so that was also added on top of just how great of a day it was. It was one of the better days I've ever had. Host SNL, and Vandy beats #1 Alabama.
How do you literally do any better than that?
Yeah, it was a big day. I think I peaked there, and now we're just coming down.
Oh.
So it was like that was the top, and then now we're just going down.
Yeah, just going down Madison Square Garden again. You're performing in Dubai, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, at the time, I mean, honestly, me getting to perform at Madison Square Garden made more sense than Vandy being Alabama. So, but hopefully that's all changing now.
Hey, on the up.
Yeah.
You're on the up. What is, and the last question I'll ask you about SNL, we're winding down here. Is there a moment from SNL that maybe didn't make it on air that you really haven't forgotten, or something memorable from that?
I think of a sketch that. So the one sketch that they let me do, I did the Coach Allen sketch on the second time I hosted about getting the check. I'm a football coach, and not everybody's paid me for. I fronted the money for the jerseys, and I'm waiting for every kid to pay me back. So that sketch aired, but that sketch was from the first time when I did SNL, and it did not air. And so I liked that because I was like, I kind of said like I like that idea, and I wish we could have made it fit in the first time I hosted. And so it was nice that the second time, and when we barely got it in. It was at the very end. I mean, we're looking at our watches, and it's like, what is it, 12:57, 12:58, and we're like about to go do this sketch, and I'm like, I don't know how are you gonna have the time to do this? And so we had to do it kind of fast, but I love that they got it in for me because I love the idea, and it was like so funny and silly that it ended up being great.
What was the scariest part about live TV for you?
Honestly, the monologue when you walk out, because it's like that's the thing I'm supposed to be the best at. So you're worried that the sketches, you're kind of like, look, you want to be good at the sketches, but if I'm terrible at sketches, like
you're not supposed to be.
I'm a stand-up comedian, so. The monologue, when you go out, you're kind of like, all right. And I knew this was such a big. The first time I did it, even though we had done Bridgestone and we got in this world in arenas, it was a different kind of, it was a different kind of mainstream audience that was going to be introduced to me. And so I knew like the monologue really meant a lot, and to get people to stay and trust that I'm there and I'm supposed to be in that spot, you know, there's a lot of pressure on that monologue. So that would be where it would have been.
So do you, once the episode's over, it's done, you've hosted, are you getting on social media and looking at the feedback? What are you trying to do?
You kind of just ask. What's weird is live, so you can find out during the show. So it's like sometimes I'll ask someone to be like, they're like, oh yeah, they're going crazy. The George Washington sketch, obviously they went crazy about, and so they'd be like, yeah, that one's going kind of crazy. But it's also so much that it's hard to look at. Like you would try to look, and then it's kind of can be overwhelming that you go, well, I don't even know what to look for. But yeah, you ask friends and you ask people, and you're like, does it seem like it's going good? And you're asking that the whole time. Is it going good?
Do you think it went well?
I think it did, yeah. But I mean, when you're in it, you're like, yeah. It's crazy because it's live, and you're just in this studio, and nothing else exists. Like in that moment for you, you're like, this is the only thing that exists. Yeah. And I think you're always nervous you're going to get off stage and you're like, the cameras didn't work. And you're like, great. Because no one saw it. Yeah.
Mike's out.
Mike's out the whole time. So we just cut to infomercial, and you go, that's cool.
Yeah, great. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.